OpenAI and Broadcom are teaming up. They announced a plan to roll out 10 gigawatts of custom AI chips over the next 4 years. Here to put the news into context is Anisa Gardizi, our cloud and compute reporter here at The Information. Anisa, it's a busy morning. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Happy to be here, Akash.
So let's talk about another chip deal that OpenAI has done with another chip company. Give us the details of what we know, and then we'll talk about the bigger picture here.
This morning, OpenAI and Broadcom announced a major partnership to deploy 10 gigawatts of custom AI chips for OpenAI. And it was broadly known within the industry that OpenAI was working with Broadcom on its own chip effort to help reduce its reliance on Nvidia. But I think the company is publicly talking about it today and putting a figure on it, 10 gigawatts over 4 years, really shows how serious the two companies are. And OpenAI does need to raise a lot of money for this effort. So I think we should expect maybe the next couple of Mondays we might be on TITV talking about them.
And it's kind of funny because over the last couple of weeks, as we've seen OpenAI do a deal with Nvidia, or Nvidia announcing its letter of intent to invest more money into OpenAI, then we saw the OpenAI AMD deal. I mean, the question that we kept asking folks is, well, what does this mean for OpenAI's own chip efforts? Because we knew that they were going to be working on their own chip. And I guess this is sort of the closest look we've had at saying, yeah, we're doing it, and we're doing it in a big way with Broadcom as well.
Right. I mean, 10 gigawatts really isn't a joke. And that's the exact amount of the, strategic partnership between OpenAI and Nvidia. Of course, OpenAI expects to get Nvidia chips through other deals, but, given that this now internal chip effort is the same size as the strategic partnership, I think it really puts into the context how much OpenAI does not want to be reliant on one company or even two companies. They sort of want many companies helping them reach their compute goals.
And Jensen can't be happy about that.
My guess is not really, especially given the way that this was announced today. I think the main takeaway was that OpenAI and Broadcom are not just working on a chip; they're working on the entire data center system, including networking and other things you need to run a system.
Right.
And that is sort of Nvidia's pitch. They always say that we do more than just building a chip, and
Right.
so today that is kind of what Broadcom announced as well.
And this is one of the things that we've talked about on the show, is that Broadcom has sort of some of those products that help build out sort of that full data center infrastructure. It's not just the chip itself.
Exactly. And I think that's probably why OpenAI was drawn to a partner like Broadcom. Of course, we'll have to see how this all shakes out. We haven't really seen any examples of these Broadcom chips in action yet. So, with all these announcements, we're going to have to see what happens, but the intent is very clear.
Right. As you're looking for this story to develop further, what are you watching for?
Well, one thing that we noticed this morning was Broadcom's president was on TV this morning talking with Greg Brockman, and he was asked the question, "Oh, well, is this your $10 billion customer that CEO Hock Tan talked about on the last earnings call?" And he kind of made it seem like OpenAI was not that $10 billion customer. So definitely one of the big questions today is that true? And who is the $10 billion customer? Because Broadcom might have another relationship that they aren't publicly talking about that is still going to be important.
Right. Well, Anisa, thank you so much for coming on short notice. That is the beauty of breaking news. We look forward to having you back on as we see more of the developments in the story playing out. That is Anisa Gardizi, our cloud and compute reporter here on TITV.